Let's take a few moments to talk about emergency medicine. When you're out in the woods, you don't always have iodine or penicillin or things like that to use, but there are remedies that can provide you the same things if you know what plants to use. One of nature's antiseptics is this lichen right here. It grows on the bark of trees. And very similar to the rock tripe. This lichen can be crushed in a small amount of water and applied directly to a wound to destroy infections and bacteria and stuff like that. Now I'm going to show you how to use it. Then what you do is you put it into a seed grinder like I've got right here. It's this little wood seed grinder. And you just grind it up. See, you want to make sure that there's no foreign material on it. You just want the lichen itself, and make sure it's good and clean. And yeah, it kind of looks black and gnarly on the backside, but that's all right. You put it into the seed grinder. You just thoroughly macerate it. That gets all the internal components nice and mashed up. Yeah, you got to work it a little bit. And once you get it nicely ground up, you just apply it directly to the wound like that, and you can wrap it in a piece of cloth or whatever you might have. You just take and wrap it up and leave it like that. And what it does, it works just like an antiseptic. It kills infections, and that's a proper way to use a lichen for an antiseptic. And if you have an upset stomach, one of the plants you can use is this plant right here. It's called Pipsasoa, and it gets little purple flowers on it. It has little tiny leaves, and the leaves are thick, kind of like aloe vera. And you can use the leaves of it crushed up really good to calm an upset stomach. And what I do is I put a small amount of it in a seed grinder and crush them up. It looks kind of slimy or whatever, but that slimy leaf is exactly what coats and calms your stomach. And then all you got to do is just eat it. Yeah. And if you have a skin rash or a prickly heat or some skin condition like that you'd like to treat, what you can use is this plant here, which is called mimosa. And I'm going to show you how to use it. What you do is you take a small amount of water and your mimosa leaves, you put them in there and you thoroughly grind it together. Yeah, this is one of those plants you got to kind of work a little bit. Got to make sure it's all thoroughly smashed and ground up. You have to make sure it's thoroughly macerated. Then you remove the leaves and the water that comes out of it. You can use to, treat a rash if you have it. A little rash you get under your arm or whatever. Many of the bush medicines and remedies involve either crushing or steeping barks and plants in water or honey and stuff like that. And so over the years I've just acquired several wooden bowls and seed grinders and stuff that I've made myself to do that with. Like this bowl right here. This is a burl off of a poplar tree that I burned and burned a hollow spot in and scraped it clean. And this bowl right here is especially useful for making tinctures, salves, cough syrups, and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you how to make some of those things. For cough syrup, what I use is the wild cherry tree bark. I just take a nice stone you can scrape with. It's got a nice sharp edge on it. And you just scrape the bark. Yeah, it's got to be a nice fresh limb. After I get a sufficient amount of bark, I put a few drops of hot water in there. Boil water. Put the hot water in there. Then I just kind of lightly macerate it. Kind of lightly macerate it like that, and then I take this little wooden bowl and put my bark in there. I pour my few drops of water in, and then I put honey in it, and then I take a little bit of wild honey and put it in there. You mix it up real good. And it doesn't hurt to let this sit overnight if you can. And just mixing it up fresh like this will make an excellent cough syrup. See, that's all there is to it. I'm going to let this stand for about 10-15 minutes. And like I said, if you can let it sit overnight, it's a lot better, but this can be used immediately also. And you got cough syrup. And as you'll notice, there's just enough in there for a single dose. And you don't want to try and eat the cherry tree bark, but the juices that come out of it flavor the cough syrup, and also the chemicals that are in the cherry tree bark is really the active ingredient in your cough syrup. The honey doesn't do anything, but the chemicals from the cherry tree bark is the active ingredient, and it will help suppress coughs.